Ladies and gentlemen, table spotlight time. That means we go out into the crowd and we turn on your camera and microphone and you show us what you have for sale, trade, or what you're in search of. Before, if you're a new member, you just want to say hello. All right. Our first table spotlight is Laura Bennett.
Well, I just wanted to say, first of all, I inherited my mother's card collection. She had collected cards her entire life. She grew up in Cincinnati. She was born in 1930, and her great aunt worked at a card company there and would bring home things and give her things. Oh, wow. And so it started a lifelong collection for her. She belonged to the Chicago Society. Then she belonged here to this group. And she unfortunately passed away about a year ago. And so I have way too many cards. I'm trying to figure out here what to do. So I'm trying to sell some of them and I've listed them. I've tried to pick out ones that I thought were of interest, not knowing a whole lot about this.
Okay, well, it seems like you've made some nice choices.
Okay, can you see my cards?
We can see your cards. Just you've got it flipped. There we go. Just make sure you go nice and slow.
All right. This is a real pretty silk box with cards in it. Number one, I did number them.
Great.
Here we have a double deck of Congress cards.
Yes, we have Congress fans in the house.
All right. These, I believe, are from Spain.
Yes.
And they have 48. A little booklet and a little slip of paper.
Nice.
And let me go up here to number 4. These were cute. These are Chesapeake line cards. I am. These are bridge cards. And the box is relatively delicate. This is a museum collection of cards, and I believe, if I remember correctly, yeah.
Oh, just go ahead and move it over to the left a little bit. There we go.
I'm sorry. They're unopened.
Very good.
All right. These cards I thought were interesting. They're actually colored. They're black with colors.
Nice.
Yeah. And they are, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
Okay. These are also an unopened deck. Let's see. Here I have, these I believe are from Iceland.
Cool.
And they have a little booklet, and if you can read Icelandic, you could probably figure out what they're saying. Let's see, up here I have some souvenir playing cards. These said they were transformation cards, so I'm not exactly sure what that is. This is very delicate also. It has a deck of cards in there. Let's see, these right here. Oh yeah, I believe these might be Hungarian.
Okay.
This is Chi-Chi. She is from Palm Springs.
Very fun.
This is a 5-suit bridge deck.
Ah, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
There was a 5th suit.
Yeah, there was. Some advertising decks. Jack Daniels.
Ah, yes, the old
in a box. These were interesting. These are in Chinese, and they do have instructions if you can read Chinese. And then all the pictures here are of different statues that are in the deck. And this is the box. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot this one. Southern Pacific lines. These appear to be quite old.
Yep.
And I believe this is, pardon?
It's a nice souvenir deck.
All right. I also had these. She collected a lot of different things. These are some little cups and saucers. Canasta cards. These are nude art cards, and every single one has a different picture from a museum's nude art. Up here, I have 2 circular decks.
Cool. Those are always cool.
This is very pretty. Chinese imperial figurines and art treasures, little booklet, and then 2 decks of cards in here. Oops. Sorry, this one.
And again, if anyone sees anything they like, there are numbers attached to these cards. And you're going to email Laura It's Laura Ben 64. That's with 2 N's at
Correct.
gmail.com. And we're going to drop her email again in the forum or into the chat room. So
Okay.
if you see something you like, make her a deal.
All right. This is another pretty box. It's wood and has 2 decks of cards in it. Up here, I believe these are whist cards. I'm trying to remember where. Yes.
German game.
Japan Airlines. This is a book for bridge.
Nice.
Let's see. Florida, Detroit, Delta Airlines.
Yeah, there's some airline decks for all my airline collectors.
Oh, I have tons of airlines. You know, I just tried to pick like a bunch of different types of cards
so
that I thought would give it.
There's a whole bunch of stuff you're not showing us that you have, right?
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding?
And you can take photos. You have an iPad, so you can take photos if people want to see some photos.
I can do any of that. And I do have probably about, I don't know, I have thousands of single cards.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And some of them are probably quite old because I think that was kind of things that my mom collected. So if anybody is interested.
Part of the CPCC earlier.
I'm sorry, what?
You said she was part of the Chicago playing card collectors earlier.
Yes, she was. She was.
So she probably has a lot of jokers and aces and queens.
Yes. Yes, she does. And then this is from the Mark Hopkins Hotel. And it came with this and a stamp. Up here, the President's deck. And she said something. It was a first editions and it said USPC.
Turn it around. Let's take a look at it. Hold on. Go back.
This is what she had written on it.
Interesting.
2 jokers, complete, USPC, first edition.
Okay.
All right. Again, these look like some advertising cards.
Yep. Railroad.
And this was a cute thing from West Cleaners. Okay, let me switch to the other side of my table. I can't do the whole table at once because I have short arms.
That's okay. We're not judging.
I do have, this is Rudels.
Mm-hmm.
Has a Nazi symbol in it, but my understanding this is well before, this is like 1910, I believe.
Flinch, right? Yeah, Flinch Card Co. Kalamazoo.
Yes. This is a Fournier deck, and this has bullfighters.
Mm-hmm.
Field and Stream. One of these is actually unopened in here. Here's some pretty horses.
Why the long face? No.
And I believe, this is Congress Canasta deck. Let's see. Bugs Bunny and, I don't know, is that Taz or something?
That is Taz. That is correct.
All right. Fournier deck. Again, 2 decks in there.
Very nice. They make beautiful cards.
She collected games. Here's a Rook game that she has that's complete. Some dogs with a stamp. These are pinochle cards. And this says Duratone on it. Next I have, Kennedy Space Shuttle. This is, I'm sorry. These are both sealed in here with stamps and pretty flowers.
Nice.
Here we have, these are also Congress cards. This is sort of an interesting deck here. This is Polish. It's from Poland. Krakow Bridge. And then these are some of the cards in there I thought were sort of pretty.
Oh, yeah, very pretty.
Yeah.
European cards are always very pretty.
Or I would guess so. Another double deck here. Another one here. Iraq Most Wanted playing cards.
Yes.
This has different cartoons in it. Playing cards. Let's see. Up here I have, these are from Belgium. These particular cards. There's no box. This says KEM in a case.
Yeah, those are chem decks. They're made of plastic or cellulose acetate. They're wonderful cards.
All right. Well, I got those. These say Bovril on them. I'm trying to remember where they're.
Oxo, I believe. There was a company that put out, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to stop talking.
Okay.
That happens a lot, by the way.
I'm sorry, what?
I said I'm wrong a lot, by the way. So continue, please.
Well, you're probably more right than I am. Let's see. These are from Frankfurt. Up here, I have a sealed deck of black velvet in the bag. This says the Moscow Kremlin Museum. Elvis has a little booklet with it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes. Let's see. Cheer Up playing cards.
Oh, those are
These
fun.
have all sorts of cartoons on them, 52 different cartoons.
That's a great
TV.
deck.
Okay. TV magic cards.
Of course. This is your
these
magic
are automatic
section
playing cards. So these are
also magic related.
yes. And then this deck, just comes in sort of an old box, but the cards were very pretty, I thought.
Yeah, they are.
And I don't know anything
European,
else.
Somewhere.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah. These are, I believe, French.
Oui.
And one pinup card, I was surprised to find any because my all my nephews took all the girly pictures after my mom died. We let everybody take cards, and because nothing says "I remember Grandma" quite like that.
Some Varga pinups.
Yeah, right.
That wasn't Varga, by the way. I don't think.
This is the Royal Pavilion at Brighton, and it's a little ripped, but the cards were all very, very pretty.
Yeah, very nice.
I'm sorry, what?
I said very nice.
All right. Over here, this is a word game called Bally. It's from 1954.
You just want to back up a little bit so we can see?
Oh, sorry. From 1954. One of the decks is still closed, but it does come with an instruction booklet, too. This is a game that teaches you how to count in Roman numerals. That has a booklet.
I. And by the way, I want to let you know that this is wonderful. We're having a great time. We're definitely coming into the last minute of the table spotlight.
I'm almost done.
I'm just giving you a 60-second warning.
All right, I'm good. So this is some type of a bridge counting or card thing for bridge with little pencils. And this deck, it says, I'm sorry, Fournier, and I must be Canasta, and then it has Carlos V and then Queen Isabella of Portugal.
Very nice.
So that's one of the ones I was going to sell, and I can sort of go through it really quickly. I did have some other ones that, since I don't know that much about this, that I kind of had questions about. I was wondering if anybody knew anything about them.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, because we have a very tight schedule tonight. I'll tell you what, you should stick around until after the Diamond Awards.
Okay.
We're going to turn on all of our cameras, and I guarantee you there will be people there that will help you identify every single one of these cards.
Okay.
Sound good?
That sounds great.
So anyone, if you see something that during her spotlight, Laura's spotlight, please contact her, make her a deal. She wants to get rid of all of this. She wants it to go to a good home. You have a good home. We're going to drop your email in the chat one more time.
Sure.
Laura, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
Spotlight. We really appreciate that.
Uh-huh. Bye-bye.
Okay. Our next up is our brand new board member. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Dave Hofmeister.
So, I'm Dave Hofmeister, and I've been a member of the club for about 11 years. Started collecting, in the late 90s. Someone gave me a deck of cards from Churchill Downs. And so I kind of liked that. I thought they were cool. So I started to look around and find other decks. And I was able to get some here and there. Wasn't too long after that I discovered eBay. And of course, eBay at that time had cards. There were a few thousand listings for cards, probably about 3,000, which seemed like a lot at the time. So I started buying them, and then I started selling them. Just for comparison's sake, today, if you do a playing card search on eBay, you'll find about 125,000 listings. So that tells you how much the interest in playing cards has grown over the past 15, 20 years. My collection is kind of one that covers a lot of bases. As someone said the other day, they were talking about what does your collection encompass, and mine encompasses a lot. It encompasses, my earliest deck is a Columbian Exposition deck from 1893, all the way up to the current stuff. And what I'm going to show is some of the stuff that I collect specifically, and then also some stuff that's for sale, and a few historical items as well. I'm going to start with what I collect specifically, which is because I live near Cincinnati. I collect Cincinnati-related decks. These can be companies, banks, charities, landmarks, you name it. If it has to do with Cincinnati, I'm interested in it. Needless to say, back in the day, a lot of companies, large and small, had playing cards printed by U.S. Playing Card and others because it was a fairly inexpensive way to reach your customers and say thank you. So today, it's more concentrated, I think, on the custom business. There are still big players in printing custom decks like Coke and Disney and others, but most of the small guys probably aren't doing it as much as they used to. Maybe they're going with other things, but for now, it's largely, these decks are from the 90s and earlier. I'm going to grab the camera and show a little bit of what I collect specifically. And please tell me if it doesn't show up very well.
Yeah, we can see.
Okay. Most of these decks are Cincinnati centric. So they're banks, they are insurance companies. You'll see Tall Stacks, which is a fairly popular deck. You'll see a few other companies that you may or may not recognize. Kings Island, of course, is very popular and very well-known place. Procter & Gamble, a hard one to find, actually. USPC printed a couple of decks when they moved from Norwood to Erlanger. And then the bottom left here is Norwood High School 45th reunion, which that's way before Mike Slaughter's time, but I'm sure he would appreciate that one. So if you see any that are Cincinnati specific decks, you can shoot me an email. I would love to hear from you, and I would love to, talk about maybe getting them from you. I have also acquired a few stock certificates, which I'm selling. These are U.S. Playing Card certificates from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And again, if you're interested in those, just shoot me an email and we'll talk about it.
Those are nice.
Yeah, they were, of course, canceled, and they're nice condition.
Can you tell who they were signed to?
Yes.
The old ones, you can see like John Omwake's name on there, and
all
these famous names.
There's Miss Lizana Riley or Wiley, I'm sure. Don't know that one. W.D. Gradison and Company, which is a big, well-known, I believe it's a financial firm here in Cincinnati. And there are, everyone has a name on it.
That's right.
And the value,
so cool.
The number of shares. It is cool. So anybody interested in those, just let me know. And am I doing okay with the camera? Because I can't see it.
Yeah, it's great. You're doing great so far, Dave.
Okay.
I know the start was rocky, but man, you're coasting right now.
All right, thanks. This is a map that was, this is the secret map that was shipped to the American POWs in Europe during World War II. The escape map deck that you see on the corners is a recreation of that deck. The map itself was printed by Haynes, House of Cards, here actually in Norwood in 1988. The map is it's actually an uncut sheet, so it's an actual reproduction of the first deck, which to my knowledge, I don't think there are any that exist of the originals. There may be one. USPC might have it in their museum. I'm not really sure. But
Steve
this
Brooks
one
will
was
tell you. Steve Brooks has done extensive
Steve-
research on this.
Steve knows. He knows all about this.
That's right. This is his area.
Yep. So the map, like I said, the map was, and the uncut sheets were made for Haynes in the late 80s. And then this was, I believe the deck that was produced was given out at a POW reunion a couple years later. POWs from one of the camps in Germany. So it's kind of a significant item. I don't think there are too many of these floating around now.
No. And that's for sale?
I have 2 of them. I would sell one. I may put it in the auction next year. I'm not sure.
Let's go ahead and drop his email in the chat. If anyone's interested in anything you're seeing, this is how you get a hold of Dave.
Thank you, sir. While we're talking about historic stuff, I wanted to show some old museum posters.
Yes.
These were created, and some of you have seen these probably. These were created for the museum by several of the employees there, and they are very hard to find now.
How many are in the set?
Well, I believe there were 4. They were produced, the first one was produced in 87, 91, 95, and 99.
Okay.
And
yeah, those are hard to get a full set of those.
Yeah, I have copies of the 3 that are on the right. The one on the left that has the blue background, I only have the 1. But I do have copies of the other. And the good thing about those is that they come with a legend that explains where all these cards are from, what decks they were from, and so on. So the one here with the brown background has, this is probably one of my favorites because it has, if I'm not blurring things here, you'll see this was an office, like an office scene, a board in an office where they would have stuck cards up from the late 1800s. 1880, I believe, is what they were shooting for on this one. And one of the interesting things about it, I think, is there's a feather here. I hope you can make it out. The feather was put in there during this recreation because playing card companies, well, specifically USPC, they like to have birds around because birds would eat the bugs that hung out near the factory. And of course, the bugs would come in and they would get in the paint and they would get into the dyes and the lacquers and everything else and make a mess of things. So they were very happy to have birds around, which I think was
so cool.
Really
I never
cool.
knew that.
No, I didn't either. But there's as I said, there's a little explainer that comes with each poster that tells what this is all about and what era they're from and who printed them and so on. The green poster has a number of what they refer to as good luck symbols that were on early decks of cards and also tarot cards. That one has the legend is there. You can't really see it, but it does come with that to explain what those are. My favorite is the Joker poster, which has Jokers from various decks. And again, it has a legend explaining where they're all from. Some of them you will recognize, I'm sure, and some of them might be a little more obscure. But that poster, I have several copies of that. So if anybody's interested, just message me. Happy to send that along to you. I'm sorry, go ahead. Okay. I have also some art prints that are from, they're not really old, but the prints are fun. They'd be great in a poker room. They're kind of centered on poker games, guys playing in smoky rooms from way back when. And I have a couple copies of each of those. So if anybody's interested, again, mail me. Getting on to the more modern stuff, I have been collecting. My collecting lately has been focused more on bicycle than anything else. And the decks that you see here are from Asia. And I have extras of all of them. So if you're interested in any of these, some of them are a little more obscure, hard to find. Others are still in production. And
For people in the chat room that don't realize, there's all these decks are being made in Erlanger and being shipped over to China for the Chinese market, and we don't see them. And if we do see them, we're paying the heavy premium on them, just like they were paying heavy premiums on our decks.
That's correct. Most of these actually will go to Japan. There's a few that are Chinese. The Line Friends decks here. Line is it's a chat and online service offered in the Asian market. Those are cartoonish fun decks. So others are related to Japanese anime, and a lot of people collect the Tokidoki decks. Tokidoki is a clothing manufacturer and distributor in the US and in Japan. Those are very popular. And then who doesn't know Snoopy? Everybody loves Snoopy, and that's a very popular deck as well.
Very fun.
I'm gonna wrap up here, just mentioning a couple of the more recent ones, because I know some people have had trouble finding these. These are the bicycle decks, the Purple Majesty and the Gold Jubilee decks that are available through Walgreens. But if you aren't finding them, let me know. I can send you a pair. Likewise, the Victor's Back, which is a new deck that was produced exclusively for Walmart. Again, people have had real trouble finding these. So if you can't get them, they're a very cool deck, very neat back design, vintage back design. Tally Hose, just a little hint about something coming out. These two decks were produced in 2019. This is a Circle Back, which was a Chinese New Year deck. This was called the Summer Fan, Summery Colors. USPC is going to be releasing two more in this series coming up. Well, one of them is next week. One of them is called the Autumn deck, Autumn Circle, which is kind of similar to this with fall colors. And then there will be a winter deck, which is also going to be a Tally Ho Circle.
Great.
Those will be available.
People, if they see what they like, they can contact you through email.
Yep.
You can make them a deal. They're ready to buy. They're throwing money at you. They can't wait to take this off your hands.
No, I'm happy to do it. You'll get them. Club members get them at cost. So just give me a buzz on these decks, especially the modern decks. The vintage design decks in black. There were a couple of these that were released. Thistleback, Safety Back. Those were red and blues, but they came out with a black version of those two. So if you're interested in completing your set of colors, that's available. So,
cool. Dave, thank you so much. You've always been so generous with the club, and continually. So thank you. And again, welcome to the board, my friend. It's a curse.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You can't get out now. It's too late, Dave.
It's okay. I'm loving it.
Thank you. Good night. Okay. Our next table spotlight. Wait till you see this. I saw it in a test. We did 2 Zoom tests. I don't know if some of you did, but not all of you came to the Zoom tests. And those that had table spotlights, we'd go through and we'd check and, do all the things that try not to have mistakes happen, but it is what it is. And when our next table spotlight turned on his camera and started showing decks, I'm like, these are for sale? You're selling these? People are going to freak out. So let's introduce you to Dr. Stan Abrams.
How you doing, Lee?
Hey, Stan. Thanks for joining us. And thank your wife and daughter again for helping with the tech. I hear them. I don't see them, but I appreciate them.
Wife is here. Yes, she's here. I'm glad you extended that 3-minute limit.
Yes. That was only set because I didn't know how many people would sign up. But now I know how many people signed up, so of course I can give you at least 10 minutes. At least 10 minutes.
You must be tired. Huh?
A little bit.
I've been watching you over 4 days, and every time I turn on the Zoom, you're there.
You say that like it's not a good thing.
Or you can sleep.
You can mute me, Stan.
Anyway, my name is Stan Abrams. I live in Marlton, New Jersey. That's in southern New Jersey, right across the river from Philadelphia. I am Philadelphian. Anyway, I started, I'm a retired general practitioner, and I started my collection years and years ago in the 1940s with the stamp collection. And since then, I branched out into all types of ephemera, paper ephemera over the years, including my playing cards. So now I'd like to show you my playing cards. They're all for sale. Everything on the table is. And I have about 300 to 350 decks, all told, plus my ephemera. So I'll take you around a tour of the table.
Can't wait.
You tell me if this is good, Lee.
Okay, right there. Stay right there.
Okay.
Looky, looky.
These are a sampling of my souvenir decks. I have more. I have about 15 more, and quite a few are in mint condition, and the edges are bright gold, beautiful.
So you're talking near mint, right? These are all near mint.
Near mint. Edges are great looking.
Bring it a little towards you so they can see the bottom.
Next, I'll show you some of my advertising cards, cigarettes, cigars, and whiskey mostly. Maybe that fellow who collected whiskey singles the other day.
Kevin Dixler.
What's his name?
Kevin Dixler.
Kevin might be interested in some of the whiskey decks I have.
Very nice.
This is, these are some of my transportation cards. I have airlines, railroads, shipping lines.
I'll tell you what, Stan, take just a step back. There we go. And tilt your camera just a little down. There we go. Because we're trying to see the bottom row. Everyone's trying to see the bottom row. And by the way, Stan, you've already got offers in your email. People are already trying to contact you to buy decks. So we can consider this a success.
Right. My email address is qualpaper@verizon.net.
Yes, we just dropped it in the chat. And oh yeah, you've got some really, really nice stuff here.
The lower left corner is a nice railroad deck from this cotton line.
Yes. Roy Rennick is saying he wants.
We go here to some of my Coca-Cola decks. I have a large Coca-Cola collection, not only decks, but letterheads and early advertisements, which are beautiful. And a Pepsi deck up top there. Pepsi.
Very nice.
Here's my some of my miniature decks. You see a bicycle there, Buster Brown, Coca-Cola.
Fauntleroy's.
Right.
Just step back so we can see the bottom.
Fauntleroy.
There we go. Keep going. Keep stepping back.
I was watching that collector of bicycle cars. I don't know whether he had any miniature bicycles.
I'm sure you're talking about Joseph Pearson.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was some collection.
Just step back. Yeah. All the collections have been incredible.
Yeah. These are some of my more expensive cards. I have two tobacco insert decks in real nice condition. Ye Witch's Fortune deck, Queen Victoria, a Squeezers 35, and an Italian deck and a German deck.
Very nice.
See those?
And I assume those don't come in a box, correct? Or do you have the boxes for those? Some of those.
No, I have the Ye Witches box,
Okay.
and I
And that
think
YCC deck up on the upper left, do you have a box for that?
no, I don't.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I think I do. The squeezers, I think I do.
Okay.
This is a reproduction of the Army and Navy deck of 1881. I bought this from Gene Hockman.
Very nice.
Mint deck. These were reproduced from the original Army and Navy decks, which were made in 1881. This is a sample of Congress singles. There are 102 cards here. Some are duplicates, and the duplicates are just same picture but different color.
And that accordion folds open and closed.
See those?
Yeah.
There's some nice Indian. And the ego.
Very nice. I'm sure the Congress guy is shaking his head.
Um,
102 cards. These are boxes and containers for the deck. These I think you're familiar with.
Yes.
7 pages of this calendar by
Oh, wow.
Russell and Morgan. I'd like to
That's
meet
beautiful.
the underbidder of the one who bought the complete calendar the other day.
Ah,
Here's a cabinet card, men playing cards. That's from Cleveland. Here are some Trump indicators and early mechanical pencils showing the suits, various suits.
where's Patterson Grant?
And some spoons and ashtrays. I got a lot of this at the Lenny Schneer auction back in the 90s. There are postcards with pictures of playing card and gambling scenes. I have a lot of these postcards. They come usually in groups of 4 to match the suits. Here you see some of my
oh, get it.
cigar labels
Yeah.
No.
from my cigar
Sitting
label
there.
collection.
What's over here?
Hello.
A few letterheads from New York Consolidated. beautiful engravings.
Oh yeah. So if anyone sees anything that I like, including these letterheads, we're gonna go ahead and drop Stan's email into the chat. This is how you get a hold of him. He would like for you to go. Sorry, Jackson. He wants you to go ahead and contact him,
Who's
and
that?
he'd like to make a deal with you.
Who?
He's talking about, you want to show him these?
Yeah, turn chair in. Move the chair. Here's some books. Can you see these?
Yeah.
Poker, gin rummy, bridge, and a magic book. And this book on the bottom right is the early 1912 Dick's Games of Patience.
Yeah, I don't have patience for solitaire.
These you didn't see last time. These are my card games. All of these are card games. Trolley, stage, touring, a German game, Old Maid, Popeye, and a baseball game at the bottom. I have more of these, have about 20 more games, some with Parker Brothers games.
Very cool.
Want to show him the,
No,
oh,
I want to show you my two
what, you're closing it, don't close it.
treasures.
Okay, yeah, we'd love to see your treasures. Other than your wife and your daughter.
That's right. What do you want to show him?
Okay.
Ah, yes, the
Here's
deck
my-
that Jason McKinstry dropped the other night.
You see that all right?
Now, if
My
you're going to show us those cards, hold it up more. There we go. A little higher. There we go.
George and Martha Washington deck, 1866.
Yeah. And you know, here's something crazy, Stan. Look at this image. Everyone look at this image. This is Jason McKinstry figured this out. That's a skull. Look at it. Eyes, the nose, the mouth.
Oh,
How cool is that?
Yeah.
It's
yes.
in Jay McKinstry's card culture article this month, everybody. Go check it out. This is a beautiful deck of cards.
I never noticed that.
Yeah.
Anyways, 32 cards, complete deck. One card is missing the lower left corner, just a small
defect.
defect in the corner. Otherwise, I would say it's a fine deck. The back was very elaborate for back in 1866.
Just pull back a little bit. Just pull back a little bit. There we go. There we go. Perfect. That's a beautiful back.
Thank you. Here's my favorite. I got this at the Lenny Schneer auction.
Ah, yes.
Eclipse comic deck. You see comic here isn't too legible because they have black printing on a dark blue background.
We see it. It looks really beautiful.
That's not much of a contrast. And
And these are for sale, Stan?
yes, they are.
Okay. So if you see something you like, let's go ahead and drop Stan's email in the chat one more time.
There comes a time when you hit 92 that you start thinking about what's going to be with all your collections, you know. And I decided to sell as much as I could.
So you don't burden your family.
That's right. They're not collectors. My kids or grandkids are not collectors. One thing with this set, one card was missing, the two of spades. So what they did, Lenny told us, was take a card from another Eclipse deck and substitute it.
Mhm.
Same card, but a different back. So you see, it's a lighter back. That's a 2 of diamonds. That's the only problem. If you
Still a
call,
beautiful deck.
if you call it a problem. It is
Stan, this has been great. Really great. Everyone, if you see stuff you like, everything is for sale. He'll make you a deal. He wants it to go to a good home, and all of you have good homes. Let's throw some ones in the chat for Stan.
I want to show you one more thing.
Okay, we got time for one more.
Okay, it's a bonus.
Here, I'll
Take
carry
you,
it. I'll
I'll
carry it.
take you into the next room.
Okay.
My wife is a collector of Royal Worcester.
Oh, nice.
I don't see a picture here. Do
That's
you?
okay. Your picture is up.
Are you getting it
You don't see it, do you?
now?
Do
We
you?
see it. We see it.
They do see it.
Can you see it? This is my
Yeah.
devil in cards.
Yes. Those go for some $1.
See them?
We see those pop up in Potter and Potter auctions every once in a while.
Yes, you do. They go in for magic, gambling mostly. I put some things in Potter and Potter. In my elephant collection, part of it.
Listen, we're gonna have to talk about the elephant in the room here, Stan.
So that's
Really, thank you. This was a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun. If you saw something that you liked, which I'm sure you did, go ahead and contact Stan. He'd like to make you a deal. He wants to, give it to someone, not give it to someone. He wants to put it in someone's hands who will take care of it and love it and cherish it like he has. Thank you, Stan.
You're welcome.
And
Thank you.
thank your wife and daughter again, too, for all the tech help. We really appreciate that.
Thanks a lot for
Really appreciate that help.
Thanks a lot for letting me be here tonight.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Off my collection.
Okay.
Wallpaper, QUALPAPER at Verizon.net.
It's in the chat. It's in the chat, everyone, if you want to get a hold of them. Again, thank you, Stan. Okay. Next up, we have a man who practiced and practiced and practiced. And now he's prepared to present to us. You know him, you love him. You want to be just like him. Stephan Bruno.
So my name is Bruno. I'm a card collector. And I heard there was a party here. So now listen, I haven't been tested, so look out, I'm coming in. Next.
This is why I love you, man.
Okay. The pictures are a little small here. Can they get bigger? Yeah, big, big, big. Okay, so this is how it all started for me. Just like Mike Slaughter, he was attracted to the rider back. And Joe Pearson, he favored the Cupid. It was the new fan back for me in red. It had all the elements that I kind of cherished, like bicycles, the flowers, bringing nature into it, the mystique of the fan, and the ornateness of the art. Next. Okay, this is Piper, my little grand girl. I play cards with her a lot. She always seems to have the aces running up and down her sleeves. Next. Okay, and here's the crew. Not only are there, this is the crew from last year in Charlotte, and a lot of these guys are here tonight. Not only are there collectors here, but there's the artists that make the decks, and then there's the handlers of the decks like the magicians and the cardists. But right there in the middle is the commander-in-chief kneeling down up front. And I would like to give a big shout out to Lee Archer because he runs a really fine ship here. Thanks a lot, Lee, for having us.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, Bruno. Thank you.
Next. Next.
One.
Okay, so I'll just tell you how I have a bicycle shop. And now the one before that, bike shop. Okay, maybe if it didn't make the cut, skip it. Okay. All right, slow down. All right, so it's all about the art now to me, right? So the next, you're going to see a slideshow of all the decks that I have for sale. Plus, I have a lot more. They're all going to be brand new, mint condition. I'm going to ship them well, and then we can chat later about the prices. I'm into trading and whatever we do. But I get these extras so that I can fuel my habit to get new decks. Okay, Brian, run the show. Slideshow. All right, so these were found in Africa. They're the lead back in the gold, trim, blue, and then there's the red one. Just let the slideshow run, yep. I'm going to try to name the decks so you can write them down if you have to. This is the 7-Eleven Coffee and the 7-Eleven 2018. This is the Magic, 25 years of Magic. These were given out at a show. This is
Magic Live.
52 proof V2. These are the metallic 125 years. This is a 63 card deck for 500 poker games. These are day glow or blacklight decks, two deck set. This is always out of stock. These are all bicycle decks. These were the wheel backs. This was the black overrun seal, and they were 2,500 deck with the white seals. This is the Amazing Adventure. She's got her mask on. This is the Amber Stag. It was a Club 808 deck. This is the Blue Americana, which was preceded by the Red Americana. Beautiful artwork, Civil War stuff. This is the Apollo in red. This was Architecture. This is the Arena deck. There's also a blue one that's very hard to get. This is the Arresta. It's a trick deck. This is the Artist 2 version, the B2. This is Astronomy. This is the Asylum deck. This is the Abe's B1, the first edition out of 3. This is B-Brick, overseas deck. This is the Black Spider, first edition. This is the Black Deck Tigers, the Gas edition, the second Gas. This is the Breast Cancer from the dollar store, $3 though. This is the Brimstone B1. Bronze Age. It's a fun deck. It's the Bros Mine, the creators from Spain. These were given out at a challenge, like a warrior deck. This is the Call Cthulhu Unlimited. The Carnival 1,000 run deck. Casino deck, kind of fancy Vegas style art. This was censored. A long story about this. I'll tell it to you someday. This is an overseas Japan deck. I don't even know how to pronounce it. This is the Charming Chinese Trump deck, Triumph deck, which is a trick deck. Christmas. Cigar, which is another Club 808 deck. This was a Civil War limited 125 run. These were clear plastic, blue and red. The traditional Club 808 deck. This was from Jay out of Elite Codex. This is his sign, gilded and a standard version. Another Jay deck from Elite Collectors. This is a new deck at Conjuring. Constantino, Australian Magician. This is a 4-deck set, the second version of the Decades. We talked about this deck earlier in the program. This was an Era, expert fact, the Era version. This is DPLS. This is the Dream Series, the first 2 editions, silver and gold. The Edge is back, the clothing store. This is Emirates Airlines, their promotional deck. And these are the flight decks, the airplane, and the airship. Beautiful art. This was the full moon, the limited edition. This is Miller's Gargoyles. This is the Gaff Ghost deck, second version. Ginza Toy Store from Japan. Goat Deco deck, kind of really foil, nice looking stuff. From Japan, God Selection. The Goonies. This is the Gorilla Silverback, Eric Demons deck. Green Label. The Illusionist, Dark and Light. This is Johnny Cupcake's first edition. JC's second edition. And the third edition was in green. Johnny Cupcakes, he's a master man. Carnival, Delirium. Another Carnival deck, Midnight in the foil case. Maid, Stuart Club, 100 and 1,500. This is Miffy's 65th anniversary from Japan. Miller Beer. Numbered deck, Night Dreams. More? Brian? Okay. Stockholm deck, number 17. Okay, yeah, this is the Stockholm deck. It's called number 17. This is the Osmond deck, the V3 with a V4 coming soon. Bicycle Phoenix deck. This was a bicycle promotion deck from last year, given at the convention. It's a 9-deck colored series of rider bikes. The Ace of Spades, 52 aces of spades in that deck. It's a Sideshow Freaks. The Skull and Bones, this is the ivory finish, not the air cushion. Another trick deck, Smiling Back. 2 of the 4 series Starlights, V1 and V2. Steampunk Beginnings. And the Steampunk Goggles, 2-deck set. Steampunk Blunder edition of the Pirates. This is the first 2 decks from the Stussies. Sumi, first edition. This is Sylvian's second edition deck, the Magician. Siguri, a J from Elite deck. Tall Stacks, 92 and 95. Tattoo, first edition. Tattoo, golden edition. This is the Tinker deck. Undefeated, closed store. This is a President's Deluxe edition. It was in black. This is the Giants, the white face, second edition. Okay, here's a couple non-bikes coming up. Altarium, this was a defect deck, and I have the defect card. This is the Arcane red deck. This is Abandoned Ship. These are non-bikes. Black Widow. Creepy, numbered, 1,000 print run. Dance Fury's Crimson, first edition. This is Randy's Honeybee, and also Randy's Elite edition of the Honeybees in blue and red. Jack Sellers. This is the Joker and the Thief, red and white. Maria, porn star with classic. This is Demonic Dramatic deck, classic deck. And Salem. This is the unbranded Skull and Bones deck. David Blaine's first edition, 2-deck set. Striptease, racy deck. The Tally Ho and Silver Vipers. And this is Lautric's Timeless. Titanic, unbranded. Vanderbilt. White Knuckles in red and blue. And stop it right there, Brian. This is 52 Jokers. When they in 2014, they had the club deck. Jackson, he printed the first deck. They ran out of them, so this was his second run he made, and he made more of them. So there's some extras floating around. All right, next. You could just go individual. There's just a couple more left. Oh, that's what I meant to say. These are the decks I need. I need them bad. So, and I want them in mint condition. This they're giving away if you buy a house at a Japanese. This is Sun City Casino in. They stop it right there. That was a Sun City Casino out west, and everybody wants these decks. I just want to mention that these 1917. They stood for the 4 branches. So go ahead, Brian, let them go. That was the Army. Here's the Navy. This is the Marines, and that was the Air Force. And that's it for the video show.
All right.
Okay.
Stephan Bruno, we're going to drop your email address in the chat. If you saw anything, and I know you did, anything you want, everything's for sale, correct, Bruno?
It sure is, and it's all brand new in beautiful shape. Okay, willing to trade for anything.
Great. Thank you. I know you did a lot of work, and Brian Sarlo, thank you. You guys worked really hard to put that together. And
Brian,
it
you
showed.
were awesome. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Lee.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay. I hate to say this, but we're at our last table spotlight for our entire virtual convention. I know. Let's put some ones in the chat.
Here's the flip.
For my friend and yours, Kevan Seaney, the Congress guy.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing?
Doing good. How do I flip it? Because I've got my videographer standing right here with me. All right. So those of you who know me, I'm called the Congress guy, Kevan Seaney. At the 2018 convention in Cleveland, during the auction, I was bidding on a Congress deck, of course, and I heard a woman in the audience whisper, "That's the Congress guy." I have no idea who that is, but I like the nickname. So whoever said that, if they remember, thanks. So I do want to start out with one thing first. That's not Congress. It was actually a suggestion. There was a chat going on when the Port, one of the last lots was going on. And somebody's like, "I want that deck. I want that deck." I was like, "Well, Dad's got one. I'll see if I can bring it over." And this is the box that it came in. It says it's a full deck sent to Charles A. Davis, Newburyport, Massachusetts. The stamps 1890 to 92. He died June 1st of 1891 at age 87. So Dad's not even sure if this guy even looked at this deck, because this is what it was originally mailed in. And we'll go ahead and show the back here real quick. Beautiful back with the Joker. Whoops. With the Joker and all of the other cards.
Quick, do some cardistry.
No. No, that's your expertise, not mine. So I've got some price lists here from 1990 and a booklet here over here from 1987. These come courtesy of Joe Pearson, Pip Knoxer. He sent these to me back in April. Said, "Got something for you, I'd like to have," and no idea what it was, and it showed up in the mail. So I wanted to thank him for that. Complete price list on Congress, Bicycle, B, Aviator, all that. So this is not all of my Congress decks. I have the 1880s, 1930, 101 decks and 93 individual backs. We have discovered, Dad and myself, through our own research, about between 365 and 370 different back designs. They are all on a website that he has put together. And
What's the website? Tell us the website out loud.
It is congresscardbacks.weebly.com. Weebly.
We're going to put that in the chat. Say it one more time.
congresscardbacks@weebly.com.
All run together.
All run together.
Nope, that is a website.
It's a Weebly free website.
Say it one more time.
congresscardbacks@weebly.com. Sure. We'll hold it up.
It's backwards. It's backwards.
Well, it's back.
That's okay. We got it. We got it.
Okay, so when I first got started collecting cards, I would go to casinos around Indiana. We live in Indianapolis. Get a casino deck for $1. Go back and play poker with it. In 2011, I decided I want an old deck to play cards with. So I went on eBay, and this is what started me down the rabbit hole. This is Liberty 1917. There's two different designs, different flags. Tax stamp is, I think it's 4/1/1917. 1917 stamp. It's in average condition. It's been used a few times. I picked this one up. Actually, I think I was bidding on this when I got the nickname. This is used from 1916. And it's still sealed.
Nice. How nice is that, right? When you find something like that.
I've got more. Not many more, but I got a couple more. And then this one I got from Mr. Cruz, Scott Cruz, at that same convention. This is George Washington. Tax stamp is 1919, but the stamp, I think, ended in 1917.
We see this a lot in Jay McKinistry's articles.
Yep.
He loves this deck.
Yep. And this one's sealed also.
Oh, look at that. Now, Kevin, are these for sale?
These are not.
You're just showing us your collection. These are nothing is for sale.
I do have some of these I would consider trading because I really want that multi-deck, the 53 back designs. I missed out on it in 2018 because I didn't realize what I was looking at, and by the time I realized, it was over. I was out of money. This one here I just got. This came from Judy Dawson and was also owned by Gene Hockman.
That's cool. That's some provenance right there.
Exactly, and I got the emails too. But so this is the minuet, and I really wanted this one because it's also sealed, but it's the original wrappers.
Oh yeah.
It is loose. I have peeked inside, and that's all I'm going to do with that. I've actually got some archival glue. I'm going to reseal this.
You just don't want to lick it?
No. No, I think that's Stu's job, isn't it? Or he sniffs. So yeah, I did take a peek in. The Joker is a name Joker, and it's consistent with the US 6E, and I'll tell you how I know that in a minute. For those that don't know. So this is one of the prizes of my collection now, and I thank Judy for selling it to me. Then we got these two here. You got Spinning Wheel and Priscilla. I call them sister decks. Same design, different name. This one here, Priscilla, is unique in a way. And if you have clear the decks from June 2019, right here, Dad made these, by the way. Made these for me. And the story is in here. And that's this beautiful handwritten note. It's backwards, but
That's okay. That's okay.
So it says Priscilla at her wheel to Clara M. Robertson from Uncle John, Rochester, June 21st, 1906. That 6 flaked off when I opened it. That's how I know what the date is. South Berwick, Maine, January 23rd, 1823. So that's when he was born. Clara Robertson was a school teacher in Kansas City. I think until she died, around 1930, I think. She died in 1950, if I remember right. Dad found through genealogy networks within about 4 hours everything we needed to know. She married a man in real estate, Gould E. Jones, no kids. And Uncle John, born South Berwick, Maine. They moved to Ohio, where he died in 1916. Clara and Gould were married 1907. About a year after this was handwritten. So we don't know if it was an engagement present or what. So the guy I bought it from, his brother bought it at a yard sale in Kansas City. He did not live in Kansas City. I think it was Columbia. It was a city somewhat close. Had no idea this note was even in it. And he said, I have no idea what you're talking about. So this, helps remember a couple of people that nobody outside of Kansas City would even know today. So to me, it's a beautiful little piece of history.
It is.
So that's obviously not going anywhere.
And good on your pops for being able to dig that up quick. He's awesome. He's an incredible researcher.
Yeah, he's done family history for 50 years. And your family database is about 20,000 names? About 20,000 names. Yeah, so he knows what he's doing. So I'll go back to Priscilla here. I'll show you so this is the name Joker. This is the US 6E. And this is Berenice. This is the one Scott Cruz sold me also. So if you notice the difference in the Jokers, one says Joker and one doesn't. So the 6C, if you're looking for a name Joker to match, you want to find the ones for the 6C, you want to find the one with the word Joker. And for the 6E, you want to find the one that doesn't have it. And it was one of those things like, hey, wait a minute, these Jokers look different. And I've got plenty of these on each one to know the difference now. So we're not sure why they did that. I think maybe by the time they took the name off of it, everybody knew it was a Joker. That's my guess. And coincidentally enough, this actual ace is on the back of my shirt.
Hey now.
Yeah. This one here is the picture that's on the back of my shirt. So
I didn't get it.
you didn't get the shirt?
No.
There we
There
go.
we go.
So that's what I found for the Jokers. Here's another one from 1907. This is Jerry. I have no idea why they named the dog Jerry. I got this from Steve Bowling at the convention last year. And beautiful gold edges. Probably one of the nicest examples of outside of a sealed deck for this one. Standard capital Joker and the US 6F. Ace of Spades, which it's funny though, because the US together, somebody had said that looks like Hells, the way it's written, and now I can't unsee that. So funny little observation from an Instagram friend. I can't remember who that was. So we got a few pinochle decks here. These came courtesy of a trade through another Congress collector. This is Storm. And this one's
the lacquers. Very cool.
This is interesting. This one has the dog in it. And from what we can tell, and the owner of the other deck has no dog in it, which I think is more rare, is the 404. We have discovered. And this is one of the later lacquer backs. You can see a lot of gold on it. One of my favorite ones. Has the 6C, but it has no Joker because it's pinochle. Beautiful gold edges there. Put this back in there. And then if I can get it closed. This one here, we don't know the exact name of them. I'm hoping Jason McKinch, you can help me find a little bit of research on some old lists that might have names to these, but they call it Bear with Bees. At least it's in the CPCC catalog. Also a pinochle deck. Beautiful gold edges. And this one has this US 6B ace. And it was 1891 to 1894 because it says United States Printing Company. So it was before it was called USPC.
Very nice.
That's how we know how to date that deck. And actually, I think that information came from your website, Lee.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Actually, all of that was Marjorie Griffiths. It was in the Hawkman, and I asked Tom if I was allowed to share it with the world, and he said, sure. And the next thing you know, Everyone's pointing at me, but it's Marjorie Griffith.
Okay, well, we will give her the credit. All right, this one here, another name we don't exactly know, Japanese lady. This is another pinochle deck. And this one's a little hard to get out, so I just kind of shake it out. This is one of my other new favorites. Beautiful gold.
Yeah, those are so cool.
Yeah, and the owner, the one I traded with, and I know he's in chat, and he can reveal himself if he wants to. He has the yellow back, which I think he said belonged to Tom and Judy. I should have traded for that one. And once again, you got the 6B ace of spades.
Very nice.
Very, very nice. And a lot of these gold edges, they hold up. So fortunately, we thank the people for not using these too much. And then this one I got at the convention in 18, an older one. This is, we think, 1885 to as late as 1891. This is probably one of my favorite ones. This is the Lighthouse.
Yes.
Now, once again, the other Congress collector, same ones I got these from, he has the green back. I have the black. And it's got the first Dundreary and the 6A ace, which coincidentally is the third ace because US 6 had the shadowing and then they had the shadows removed. So it's actually two US 6s. But this is technically the third ace of spades they used. So one of my favorite decks. It's not terrible condition, pretty good. Probably still riffles a little bit. I'm not going to do it here. You can see they got the flesh tones on the faces. You don't really see that anymore. I think they had a little more creativity, a lot more color back then. Of course, that was Russell and Morgan's specialty. So that's Lighthouse, and all four of these plus the minuet are in carrot cases. Compliments of Sherman.
And again, none of this is for sale. You're just showing off to us.
These are now some of them I would be open to trade because I am looking for that multi deck.
Right.
53
Okay.
cards.
So let's go ahead and drop your email into the chat.
Okay.
And if anyone has that multi-deck, there we go. If anyone has that multi-deck, reach out to Kevin. Make him a deal.
Yep, I'm looking to trade, and this one I'm willing to trade. It's incomplete by about 20 cards, but there's 62 in it. And this is a sample folder, believe it or not. It's not marked in any way. Judy says she's seen or has had or seen one other like this, and this came from the Netherlands through trade. It says considered adoption for export use by Export Committee 52005, decided to use my paper folder for the present. This is some kind of lemon or something. I'm not sure what it is. But I would be willing to trade this. And this is 6 by 6 feet wide and double-sided, if I can get it.
Wow. That's cool. Super cool.
I don't know if you can get all that in a shot. As you can see, some of them are missing. Over here, where my finger is, you can actually see a US 6E ace. So they actually had pips and indices on them. Lots of different decks. And we think we know which ones are missing, but trying to find the actual cards, because these don't have numbers on them like in the other sample folders we've seen. There's no numbers at the bottom, which probably makes it that much harder to find. And we'll go to the other side. And this doesn't rip apart in the folds like the paper ones do. So
super cool, man. Super cool.
But we're not sure if the big blank spot in the middle. There's no evidence of glue, no evidence of cards. So we're not even sure if we're missing 20. We may be missing less, but we just don't know, because this is maybe one of two known, maybe the only one. We're not quite sure, but I would say it's exceedingly rare. This is probably the only time you're ever going to see one.
Well, hold that camera still a little longer then. We're going to enjoy it.
Take it in.
Relish it.
Take it in.
There you go.
So, yes, this is a beautiful, beautiful design. So if you're looking to collect, this would be one to get. I would say, even though it's incomplete, it's probably one of the as complete as it's going to get.
So if you have something that Kevan wants, and Kevan has something you want, make sure that you contact him. We're going to drop your email one more time in the chat.
Okay.
Kevan, I hate to do this, but we do have about a little less than a half hour to the award show. We still have a couple of small tweaks and things that we have to do. So I would, if you have any other thoughts or you want to show us one more thing, now is your time.
Nope, we can let's go around the table one more time with the video, and that'll be good. Just take a gander.
Okay, Roy Rennick's asking how many does he need to complete his collection?
Ooh, I have 93 different back designs from 1881 to 1930 out of somewhere between 365 and 370. And there's some more of my narrows and some of the other ones that wouldn't fit on the table down in the box there.
Very nice, man. This was a beautiful table spotlight. It's clear you've put in a lot of time and energy, and we appreciate that, and we appreciate you, and we appreciate your dad.
And I'm on Instagram as well. I have a Facebook page, The Congress Guy. I don't post on there a lot anymore, but Instagram is the.congress.guy on Instagram.
The.congress.guy.
Yep.
Okay, Kevan, thank you again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was your last top table spotlight for the 2020 virtual convention.